Hey y'all, so I know I say everything is the braid style of the summer, and I really be saying that because I'm trying to make it the braid style of the summer. But this style right here is the actual braid style of the summer. You guys have seen it everywhere. So I've obviously done this style before, but not as full. So I'm gonna break it down for you guys. So these are gonna be the boho braids or boar braids or whatever you want, goddess braids, whatever you want to call it, but I'm gonna make them super full, and we're gonna use human hair for the curls, so she's not gonna have any knots or anything like that. So I'm gonna break down the parting. So I've already, of course, parted the middle part. That's first and foremost, and then I went from ear to ear and parted that out. Now I'm parting the lines in the back. So we're doing like some medium, or what my medium is. I don't know if it's the same for other braiders, but this is my medium. Okay, it's not that small. Small enough for me and my client. So I got about three layers in before I hit the tip of the ear, and then I'm gonna keep moving upwards until I get to the top, and then I'm gonna start on the other side and match up the parts. Now pre-parting is so important, you guys, when it comes to small styles like this, because it's gonna cut down some time off your braiding time. So it's important. It's not a necessity, but I would say that it's very important to pre-part, so that once you start braiding, you just move through it quickly and you don't have to keep stopping and starting, like stopping parting and starting over. So pre-parting is just something that most braiders recommend doing when you're, especially when you're doing a style that is going to take me probably six or so hours to complete. This is my friend, so of course we're kikiing the whole time, we're taking lunch breaks, I'm tending to my kids. It's just a lot going on, so it's going to take about a good 6-7 hours to complete. But yeah, I'm pre-parting and then I'm matching up the parts, and at the front I think I get about 4 or 5 parts on the sides before hitting the middle. So that is my medium. If you don't know what medium is, if you're new to these terms, it is a small and medium, between a small and a medium mix. So now that I've started braiding the hair, I'm going to feed in about 3 feed-ins. So for the entire style, I stick to about 3, sometimes 4, but mostly 3 feedings of braiding hair. And then I start to add the human hair right at the top. So I'm adding at the top because this is going to determine how full the braids are. So I'm adding, starting at the top, and then every about an inch or two, like probably about 2 inches down, I add more. And at the end of it, I've probably added about 8 or 9 feed-ins of human hair that hangs out. So like I said, she wanted it super full. She actually wanted it to look like she doesn't even have braids. So when it's done, it's just gonna look more like human hair, just all over. It's a exotic style. She's going on vacation to Jamaica, a trip that I should be on, but I'm not because life, kids. My daughter was actually graduating the day that they were leaving out, and I obviously had to choose that over going on a nice vacation away. So I'm braiding down and I'm just adding the hair in, I'm pulling it out and continuously braiding down. And I do this obviously the entire style, but stay tuned because maybe I'm going to catch some things that I can explain to you guys what I've done differently. Like I said, on each braid though, I'm adding about 8 or 9 feed-ins of human hair, and then when I get to the end I have that one feed-in just hanging off, and that ends the style. So as I'm going, doing the brick layering as best as I can. Sometimes the brick layering can be a little bit difficult because you start out that way, and then the size of the head, the size of your part, those things kind of get in the way. but you want to just keep going and keep trying to make sure that it's bricklayering so that the hair falls and it doesn't show the parts as much. So I'm adding in the hair, and every 2, sometimes 3 inches, I add in some extra. I'm at the end right now. What I'm doing is tying off the last braid, and I typically take like a strand of the human hair, like a couple of strands, like maybe like 4 or 5 strands from the human hair feeding, and then I'll tie it into a knot at the end. And if there's any braiding hair left, then I'll go ahead and cut that off. I'm sorry guys, the plane is flying overhead. I'm in a military state and they are constantly flying. Yeah, so I'll wait it out. I'll stop and wait it out. All right, so now that the planes are gone, they'll probably be back in a few minutes. Again, I live in Virginia, which is like huge military. I was in the military. My husband was in the military, or he still is. So we're not even that close to the base, but we're pretty close. We're in the flying zone of that. So they fly overhead pretty often and it's loud. But I've gotten used to it. So, it's just doing a voiceover can be a little bit difficult, especially doing my voiceover outside. If you guys been keeping up with my videos, I started doing my voiceovers outside. So you're hearing the birds chirping, water flowing, all sorts of stuff going on in the backyard. And now you can hear planes flying over above. So we're probably about 4 hours in right now, and she keeps thinking that I'm almost done. It's like one of those scenarios where she's like, well, it looks like you're at the top. Are you almost done? I'm like, no, girl, we got a few more hours left. And she's like, how much hair do I have left? Because it just feels like you're almost done. Girl, we got about 3-4 more hours to go. So just chill out and, we'll get to it. But this style is not something that I try to do very often because um, I have been developing some sort of carpal tunnel. And when I do styles like this, that tends to flare up. So that's kind of why I'm no longer in the shop full time, is because, I started developing that. And so I slowed down and I haven't been feeling it at all, to be honest, until I do styles like this that is just consistent braiding. And it takes, hours and hours of just continuously braiding. And that's when I start to feel it the most. So after a style like this, I typically take a few days off of not like doing touching hair unless I've already had them scheduled or something like that. But typically I'll take a few days off, sometimes a week, just so that I can recoup from this style and it doesn't pain my hands when I get back started. So I'm almost at the top. We are ecstatic, but never close enough because we got about like 4 more braids after this one left. So it's never close enough to the end because, until you're on that last braid, that's when the dancing comes out. That's when we start like getting happy because it's almost over with. As you can see, the hair looks really full, looks really pretty when she gets in the water or the beach or all the activities they're going to be doing in Jamaica. It's just going to look really, really pretty. The curls are human, so it's not going to knot up like the crochet hair normally does. It's going to stay intact as long as she takes care of it. So in my previous videos, I've recommended using mousse, which I don't even know what I was thinking recommending that. So stop using mousse, guys, because mousse is so sticky to your hair. I definitely recommend just using water and like a leave-in conditioner for this type of style. That is going to make the hair so soft, and whenever it gets wet it's just going to be even softer because you already have like leave-in conditioner in it. So get a spray bottle, get some water in it. You can even mix the leave-in conditioner in the spray bottle with the water if you want, and just like shake it up real good and spray it in your hair. And that's going to leave the hair super fluffy, moisturized, like treat it like, human hair, which is what we're using. So for the braiding hair, um, I use I think I used the kids, what braiding hair did I use? No, I used she actually ordered some braiding hair offline. It was really, really soft. She got them from Amazon. I'll ask her to send me the link so that I can link it because I really like working with that braiding hair. It was so soft It felt like her actual natural hair. And then the human hair she's using is from QT's, also from Amazon. I'll link everything in the description for you guys. So this is the end. She does not want it below her butt like that. She doesn't want to be sitting on it while she's out trying to have fun. So I'm going to go ahead and brush it out, and then I'm going to cut it down to above her butt. That is a lot of hair. Like I said, she wanted it to be super full, and I do think this style looks so much better when it's like really, really full. It looks just really, really pretty. So I'm brushing it out, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut it in an angle to where it's not like she can't sit on it when she goes to sit down. So then I'm gonna wet it, and once I wet, it's gonna shrink up some more because hair is gonna get curly and it's gonna shrink up. And there's her daughter asking if we're almost done. And I'm like, yeah, we're almost there. This is the final end. So I'm spraying some water on it. I don't know why I tell her to shake the whole time, and she just keeps shaking. There's no need for her to be shaking this much while I'm just spraying water on it. So as I'm spraying the water, you can see the hair getting prettier and prettier. And then I'm gonna put some, hold on guys, the plane is flying again. Okay, that one's not so bad. So I'm gonna put some what did I put in it? Some conditioner. I just got some of my Goddess Strength conditioner, and then I just rubbed it in, and this is how it looks. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the look of when it was dry, but you guys kind of got a glimpse of how full it was. And even just wet, it looks really, really pretty. So I'm going to get more looks on that. So now it's just wet, and I did put the conditioner in it. She's shaking it. It's a perfect length. It's a perfect fullness, and it's gonna look so, so pretty on vacation. You guys already know this is what we do when we go on vacation. We get braids so that we can get in the water, we can do fun activities without having to worry about our hair. Look how gorgeous she looks with this style. This is like, yeah, I already told her you're not coming back to me for another year for this style.